Hello again. Welcome back to the Movie Buff Reactions channel, and happy Independence Day. I try to do something related to, America every, Independence Day, just cause it's fun and I like the holiday. Last year I did the honest trailer for the 1990 Captain America. So this year, I'm gonna do reacting to something connected to the 1979 Captain America movies starring Reb Brown. Obviously, I was introduced to these movies through the Spoonie experiment and saw them on my own, and they are just as dull as he may amount to be, but I've already seen those reviews, so today we're going to be reacting to another video by a guy I did about a little over a month ago, the Dark Corners Reviews show. This is his take on the Captain America movies with Reb Brown, and this guy is fun. He's very short, but gets to the point, and is pretty enjoyable. So, without further ado, let's watch.
They ridiculed your father, remember? Called him Captain America, and finally murdered him.
Welcome back to my dark corner of this sick world.
Long hair.
2 films this week as we review the 1979 made-for-TV pilots of Captain America.
Kinda looks like a young Michael Bay with that hair.
The Captain's usual formula involves tiny, puny Steve Rogers being transformed into a superhero.
Not this
but
time.
This version has to dispense with that, as Rogers is played by slab bulkhead himself, Reb Brown.
Be Captain America, Steve.
Bringing his own brand of intelligent charisma.
Do you understand what that means?
I'm guessing no.
Not sure I'm following you.
This Steve Rogers doesn't even want to be Captain America.
I just want to kick back, find out who I am.
He
Very much in the
artist,
groove.
hiding behind rocks, drawing other people's children.
That's what I had in mind for maybe the rest of my life.
The acting is not great.
How much more? In case.
Can't really hear it
And it's
much.
probably not a good sign when you make 2 pilot films in the same year, and yet the actress who plays the heroine in the first can't be bothered to show up for the second.
My heart isn't in it.
Also, the plot requires Steve to don the red, white and blue as a disguise.
Something that'll make it impossible
Not a very
for them
good
to
one.
remember or even recognize you at all.
So we're assuming his enemies are quite dumb.
Captain America just broke
He does look hot.
out of jail. He's headed north on 401.
Yeah, that seems like the most likely explanation.
Does it really matter?
Fair point, it's a superhero film after all, so let's see some superheroics. How about that shield?
The material and the aerodynamic design of the shield is really interesting.
Oh
It's
boy.
bulletproof and a rather deadly weapon.
I'm sure this will hit something at some point.
Yeah. Even for a TV movie, that's embarrassing.
Right, as a demonstration of how this is a deadly weapon, that was worthless. But perhaps it looks better in action. Just stab him.
I think he likes to take his time.
Moron.
Jam Captain America down their throats.
The second film, Death Too Soon, has one major plus, although he might not see it that way.
I don't like this data.
The
Yep.
late 70s, early 80s were not kind to Christopher Lee.
You didn't expect
This
a
is
full
Howling
jungle
too,
fighter with
also
a
with
boomerang
Reb.
trick like that, did you?
But he does give you something to watch as the plot disintegrates around him.
I can't understand this.
Captain America is starting a covert operation, trailing drug smugglers. You may just have alerted them to your presence, but, astonishingly, An attack by a man in a patriotic lycra onesie doesn't faze the bad guys, and they continue unconcerned.
What happened, you guys? Some trouble earlier.
Lee's plan involves a drug that causes people to age.
His claim is that everyone within range will age at the rate of 38 days per hour.
He poisons Portland.
Whatever it is, it sure smells nice.
Can the captain secure the antidote before people start dying?
Frankly, I don't know.
Well, no. Obviously. And at no point do any of the good guys say, well, this is bad news for the young people of Portland, but it's fucking catastrophic news for the elderly.
Whoa.
The
Yeah.
numbers of anyone who was already within a year or two of death are discounted.
I wish you'd told me about that earlier.
And when he does get the antidote,
The people of Portland have all aged about 10 months.
bullshit. At 38 days an hour, 10 months is less than 8 hours. No way does all this happen in that time.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Speaking of ridiculous,
This scene.
you're probably wondering if this got a full series.
Nope.
What do you say, Steve? Do we put Captain America on a permanent basis?
No, we do not.
Is that the best you can give me?
Which Captain America do you prefer? Reb Brown's idiot artist or Ronnie Cox's car sickness faker? Let us know in the comments below. Check out our other reviews and don't forget to subscribe for new reviews every Tuesday.
See, there's an after credit scene.
What do you make of this?
We all know this weed.
Appropriate. Hard to say. At least Albert Pien, who did the 1990 version, at least he tried to have a bit more oomph than the Reb Brown movies. And it's ironic because Reb Brown is always known for his loud throat wrecking scream. But he doesn't do that in these movies. This is before he really perfected that trademark of his. The 1979 Captain America movies, they're well known for being extremely dull, and I agree, although, weirdly, Reb Brown's acting is not the worst it's ever been in these movies. Like, it's funny, kind of like Howling 2, which also has Christopher Lee. They're some of the worst movies he's ever done, like the least entertaining movies, but they ironically feature some of his best acting moments. And also just, yeah, the suit looks ridiculous. Looks like something from the Captain America porn parody. But, the Dark Corners guy, he had some good quips here. Not my favorite episode of his, but it's still, again, it gets to the point, and he highlights just how silly these are, and no shock why it wasn't picked up for a series. And again, with the longer hair he has, compared to how he looks now, he kind of looks a little bit like Michael Bay from the 90s, when he had long hair. I'm not sure he'd take that as a compliment, but, he looks good, and overall, it's fun. Captain America, the pre-Chris Evans movies make for some good riff material, and while the 70s films are very dull, they're pretty good to make fun of. There's a lot of stuff you can really rip into. And again, I agree, Christopher Lee, he's like Sean Connery. Even if the movie he's in is shit, at least there can be a little bit of enjoyment from him, and he, even regardless of the film, has a bit of class to him. So, overall, happy Independence Day, everybody. Hope you have fun. Just came from a kick-ass fireworks show, so not a bad way to get into it, and I will be celebrating with some good old patriotic Twinkies and Hostess cupcakes.